So they're evaluating. Also, I think it was weird that the people that got eliminated were from the second group, which personally I felt was stronger than the first group. Yes, the first group was very well polished. Choreography wise, they had everything cleanly, but I feel like vocal wise, the second group had the better performers. And there's like obviously there's like 3 from this group that I think should be debuting. There's some members that I think they're just keeping them there because they're good dancers, but if you're gonna have a boy band and if you're gonna back it up, if obviously training with the K-pop style of training, then you have all of them have to be all-rounders. Yes, you will have your lead vocalist and you'll have your main dancers like every Hive group has, you know, BTS and Hyphen TXT 17, you know, each one has their vocal line, has the dance line, and has the all-rounders. But you still should be able, you shouldn't be able to tell, it shouldn't be that obvious which one is which. Everybody should be hitting the dance, the choreography at the same. Everybody should be able to hit their notes, be able to have that vocal strength, able to have that air control. So it's like your performances go off flawlessly. And obviously that's why the producers are in charge of giving specific members specific roles, so they can, you know, they're not going to give them notes that they know they can't hit. They're not going to give them choreography that they know they can't do. They are able to choose who gets assigned what. But if you're starting off, you need to be able to hit the notes, and you need to be able to hit your lines and hit your marks and hit your cues and dance in unison with the same amount of power, the same amount of strength. So you can't point out who's like the weak member. So the second group is 1, 2, 3, 4. Composed of 6 people. Kawe, I think that's Jesuale, that's Alejandro, that's Kenneth, that's Luigi, and then that's Alex. He's from Spain. So right off from the first start, you can tell the difference vocally. This group is more, I don't want to say they have more of the vocalist, but like Kenneth has been singing since I don't know what age. He's like has very good control of his vocals. Alejandro, he knows his voice. He knows how to hit the notes. He knows like how to emote. He has very good breath control. Same thing for Kawe. He's a very good singer, but he's more comfortable doing like his upper register. And then we have Jesuale, he's a little better at dancing. Alex is supposed to be like an amazing dancer, and Luigi is also a dancer. So you have these 3 dancers that are working on their vocals, and you have the 3 vocalists that are working on their dancing. Here's where you're going to see that there's basically half of this team is nailing and improving in the area they have to work on, and like one of these people is just not improving at all. Like this is week 8. I think by this time it's been like already 3 or 4 months that have passed that they've been training. So this is just like their 8th challenge, but it's already been like 4 months since they've been training. So they shouldn't be sounding the way they're sounding. Also, this is what brought me to make this video, because this specific performance and some of these specific people are getting compared to like Enhypen. I feel like some fans are taking it out of context of the comparison. Obviously, we know in Enhypen, the main lead, the all-rounder is Heesung. The joke is with Engines is that Island was just Heesung trying to find his members. And personally, I feel like Santos Bravos, Alejandro is the Heesung of that group. Even though he's not as strong dance-wise, he's getting there. Like he's putting in the work. So he's becoming an all-rounder. And like in all of the challenges that they've had, he hasn't missed a beat. He hasn't missed a mark. Every critique he's gotten, he's taken it in and he's put it into action, and it's shown. So personally, obviously, with any song, like if you guys have noticed, if you're Engine, a lot of Enhypen songs, the ones that start the song are either Heesung or Jay. Like they set the tone. And when they close the songs, a lot of the times it's Heesung or Jay. They close out the songs. because like I mentioned, Heesung is like he's like the best vocalist of the group. Not that every other member isn't great. I'm a huge Enhypen fan, if you guys have seen my channel. But I feel like people are putting videos comparing this performance to Enhypen's performance. Obviously, the level of training isn't the same amount of years. Sometimes the videos that are being used of Enhypen are not like the video that I've seen clipped the most. It's not like a main performance video. It's like a encore performance video. But if you put them, you should be comparing them with like performances they put on like at award shows or even at their concerts. And Heesung still sounds amazing. They all still sound very stable. Obviously, you're going to be winded if you're like Dean. Also, Enhypen's choreography is more complex than Santos Bravos. Santos Bravos, yes, they do like a lot of like jumping type style movements, a lot of syncopations, and just like hitting lines and hitting poses, hitting points. Whereas Enhypen's, as they're singing, they're doing like front kicks, they're doing like side shoulder syncopations, and they're like doing their formations. So Enhypen's is a little bit more technically difficult with the choreography, adding on to that layer the vocals. Whereas Santos Bravos, they watered down a little bit the choreography because they needed to, because again, they're not you can't compare years of experience with like months of training. But at the same time, you have to take that into account, that the Santos Bravos choreography is not as difficult as the Enhypen choreography. So you're not comparing apples to apples. So those are the things you have to keep in mind if you're really going to be comparing the two. But anyways, this is the second group from Santos Bravos that's doing the Enhypen Bad Desire. Also, they changed the keynote for this group. I didn't notice it as much for the first group, but for this group, they had to change the keys to fit some of the members' vocal weakness. So instead of starting with or without you at a higher note, they started with or without you, more like straight, like linear, with or without you, versus the original with or without you, that it goes like high key change. So that's another thing that you guys have to, if you're not familiar with the Enhypen song and you're comparing and saying this group is better or this singer did it better, you have to take into account also the key change. They had to change the keys. Not because the kickoff, like personally, I think Alejandro would have been able to hit that note, but they had to rearrange the key for the whole song because other members of this group are not as vocally strong. So it would basically trying to hide their weakness they had to change the key for everybody so they wouldn't stick out as much with like, oh my god, their vocals are terrible. And even then, you can hear their vocals are terrible. And here they didn't do the stupid Santos Bravos. That's like that. I don't even know what that was about. What if I told you that I want you, but I see your heart is pure? What if I told you I'm a monster? Don't come closer. Like right there, Engine, if you're watching this and if you watch like videos on other social media, please understand that this is a compliment to Heesung. It's not bringing him down. But the fact that people are saying that like this portion right here solidified Alejandro's role, like he should be getting a spot in that group. He's being called like the Heesung of Santos Bravos. That's like a compliment, okay? Because of how good that he's doing in his group compared to the original group. Because Heesung kicks off the song. He has like the job of like setting the tone, setting the mood, setting that angst of the song, giving us that angst so we can know like, okay, this is an angsty song. He's hitting those the vocal vibratos obviously Heesung does it amazingly better because he's a vocal genius. He's also like, he has perfect pitch. But the fact that Alejandro is able to do it in his way, he's hitting the notes, he's giving the emotion, he's hitting the vibratos, like, that's a huge compliment to Heesung, that he was able to take this role where he's like, okay, like personally, to me, it says that Alejandro, he got his role, he studied the source material, which is Heesung, which is Enhypen. He studied the source material, he saw how they performed it, and he's like, okay, this is what I need to emulate, this is how I need to do it. I'm gonna do it in my keynote that they gave me, but the outcome has to be the same. So to me personally, that tells me that Alejandro studied the source material. He studied Enhypen's performance, and he utilized that to help his performance. And you can tell also by the outfits who they're trying to push is like being visually there and that needs to be in the group. But personally, this outfit choice did not match with everybody else's outfits. Like, I like Gawa's outfit better. He's also showing his arms, but it's not as like a rib, what's it called? A tank, like Alex. Like, really, you could tell they're trying to showcase the muscles, like distract you from what you're gonna hear. Versus Kawa, that it's like, he has vocals, but we gotta match sleeveless with sleeveless because we can't just have one random sleeveless guy, so we gotta put another one in a sleeveless.
What if I told ya that I want ya, but I see your heart is pure? What if I told ya I'm a monster?
Looking closer.
Innocent girl, don't touch, don't do it. Don't wanna take your golden light out in the world.
Like, that was Hesuale. He's 16. He's been working on his vocals because he's mostly a dancer. Like, even when they had a snippet of him singing, vocally he's not there yet. But he hit all the notes and he was like giving the emotion. He still sounds very, you could tell he sounds more like he's trying to sell you a feeling. You could tell he's trying to sell you the feeling with like his facial expressions. Even though he's hitting the notes, he's not actually like singing it from his heart. He's singing it from his head, like, no, no, no. So it's interesting that they put Hesuale and Kenneth back to back because they're very close in age, but one is more vocally trained than the other, and you can tell by the difference in how they perform it and how they emote the feeling of their specific lyrics.
Monster, don't come closer. Innocent girl, don't touch, don't do it. Don't wanna take your golden light out in the world. You're just an angel with you in the dark. My sacrifice.
Like, Kenneth was able to give it more feeling. Hesuale, he's a visual. He's there. He's visually. He's a good dancer, but vocally he wasn't as strong because even though he hit the notes, innocent girl, don't stop, don't do it, don't want to take your golden light. It was very like, it was lacking flavor. But then when Kenneth did his part, you could feel it a little more. He's like, out in this world, you're just an angel. He was like emoting the feeling. And that's what differentiates both of them. You know, if you're like looking at each little bit. Because Kenneth, once he goes through puberty and he hits that his voice changes, he's already mastered like his vocal, his breath. He knows how to work his vocal cords. Even if he goes through puberty and his voice changes, gets deeper, he's gonna get even better. Like, he's gonna emote even better. He's gonna give you more of that feeling. And he can only get better from here. Whereas Hesuale, he's still struggling to keep up, and then he still even has to get better. So they're trying to debut the group by like October. So that's where you have to measure, like, yes, I like this member, but is he at the level he needs to be if we're only like 2 weeks away from debuting a group?
Without you, yeah, I'm torn between a deeper desire. With or without you, there's a flame and maybe it's getting brighter.
And this is where I say they changed the key of the song to fit a specific person so that he wouldn't stand out amongst everybody else. Because the original note is, with or without you, na 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 na, which gives you that angst. But he can't hit those notes, so they gave him with or without you. Yeah, I'm torn between the deep of desire. But he couldn't even do that either. Like, he's like, with or without you. I honestly feel like he's tone deaf. He's like, with or without you. Yeah, I'm torn between, like, he's off key. He is off key, but since he's like a good dancer, they're trying their best to make him work.
There's a flame and maybe it's getting brighter.
Like, the background vocalists are out singing him.
Yeah, you got that.
Like, oh, my man Alejandro came in with like the jumping choreo, and he was very stable with the, yeah, you got that, oh. Obviously, I'm not a singer, but that is not easy at all. Like, in comparison to him with Gabi performing it, Gabi, you could tell like that the vocals were cut off because of his lack of vocal control. Whereas Alejandro, he's like, okay, I'm getting ready to do this choreo. I need to have like enough air in me to not run out of breath while I'm singing it. And then also I have to make sure that my vocal cords are not getting strained, that I'm not like forcing it, that I'm not singing it from my throat, but I'm singing it from my diaphragm. So the vocal flow was like very seamless, and he was able to do, and this is the part that's like, everybody's like, oh my God, he's the Heesung of the group, because Heesung does that portion like perfectly, like the, yeah, you got that, oh, hitting the runs, hitting the scales while he's dancing. In his case, he's like jumping and doing the choreo, doing the hand movements, and like his vocals did not suffer because of it. And that's where it shows that he came in stronger on the vocals, weaker on the choreo, but as the show progressed, he's matching the dancers and he's keeping his vocal stability, but not only that, but also improving it. And this guy,
It's getting brighter. Yeah, you got that. With or without you, I belong here in the beautiful fire.
with or without you, I belong here in this beautiful fire. Like, they changed the note, they lowered it also because it has to fit the whole song for when they changed it for Alex. But again, he's like sliding on the floor, like doing slides, doing formations. Obviously, he needs to hold the mic a little closer so you don't hear like the difference in getting loud and getting soft. But he hit all the notes. With or without you, yeah, I'm torn between this, what is it? With or without you, I'm torn between this beautiful fire.
With or without you, there's a flame and maybe it's getting.
Like, you can see Kawe is in the back singing his backup. With or without you, I'm torn between this desire. He sounds better than Alex, who's doing the like easier note. He's at the front, it's his moment to shine, but he's getting outshined by Kawe.
Brighter. Yeah, you got that.
And then you have Luigi in the back trying to do the oh, like, it's very flat. It's very flat. He's not hitting those what do they call them? He's not hitting the scales. It's just like, oh, it's like he's one note but just jumping, and that's creating the sound oh instead of oh.
Without you, I belong here in the beautiful fire. So my body that's tell me all your
Like Luigi did better here in this part than Diego did on his, because you can actually tell, you can hear him in that lower register. Tell me all your deepest. His only problem here is he's just saying the words. He's not emoting the feeling. So he's giving us, tell me all your deepest. He's narrating, whereas the original with Nikki, it's like, it gives us this evil sound. It's like, tell me all your deepest. You know, he's putting that like angst in it, that like I'm plotting something vibe. Like you told me all your secrets, girl, so I'm gonna win you over. That's the original vibe that the song gives. Luigi is hitting the notes, but he's only narrating them. He's not giving you the feeling of like, I want to know everything about you. He's just like, so tell me about yourself. You know what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know if this is how they arranged it, or if Kawe ran out of breath and he didn't trust himself to hit the oh. Like, this is a different, the way that the note should be, it should be coming from, I want to say like your chest voice. Oh, it's here, but I feel like there was a moment of like panic that he's like, oh, I'm not gonna hit the notes. So he reverted to his comfort zone, which is like his head voice, like the airy voice, and he goes, oh, you could hear the change from oh, like it gets like so airy and like so headspacey that personally I don't think it sounds good. Like, the notes are beautiful, don't get me wrong. Oh, like, it's beautiful. The vibrato's there, he's hitting the higher registers. But for, like, you're closing out the song, and especially if Alejandro led you in with, like, yeah, you got that. You know, like, with this angsty, powerful, yeah, you got that. And you go into, oh, it takes it to a different feeling. It goes from angsty to like fairy. Like, you're not angsty anymore. You're not like, oh, tell me about you, girl. It's like, oh, I'm in the forest, I'm in the fairies. Like, I don't know if that was his personal, the way he reverted to singing it like that, or if that's how they arranged it for him. If that's how they arranged it for him, I know what the directors were doing. They were trying to showcase that he can hit those higher registers. Like, this is going to be our guy. This is going to be our falsettos. But personally, I don't think that fit the vibe of the song. Like, Bad Desire, having a falsetto, that did not fit the song at all. Like, I don't think it did him justice. Yes, he hit all the notes. Yes, they were beautiful. But it took you out of that space of like what the song was trying to emote to you. So personally, I think this group did better than group 1, because this group had more, this group challenged the vocalists to be more dancers, whereas the first group challenged the dancers to be more vocalists. The dancers did not meet the vocal standards, with the exception of Drew and Gabby, who just let the nerves get to him. In this instance, the vocalists remained stable and were able to hit the choreography. But the dancers that were supposed to be just like get a little bit moments to shine, like Alejandro, this bro over here, he just did not deliver at all. He did not deliver at all. Luigi, he was hitting the notes, but he wasn't feeling anything. Jesuale, he's a beautiful boy. He's trying, but he still needs more training. Like they said on the episode, it's like he's on the cusp of like breaking through, but he still needs a little bit more time, and they don't have time. Whereas Kenneth, he's able to emote the feeling, he's able to hit the notes, he's able to give the performance. Kawe, he's obviously, they're like, look, this guy can sing, he can give falsettos. But I feel like that, the way that was designed for him, I don't think he fit the song at all. And then we have Alejandro, who personally, if he doesn't debut and if he's not like the center of the group, I don't know what Hive is thinking, like honestly. Because to me, from all the episodes that I've seen and all the performances, he's giving like center, focus, main vocalist, the center person that's going to be like, everybody's working around him, tying him in, which is again why a lot of people are calling him the Heesung of the group. He's like the Heesung of Santos Bravos, because Heesung for Enhypen, he's like the center, he's like the all-rounder, he's like a great vocalist and he's a great dancer. All the members are also great, but if you take Heesung out of the equation, it's not like a cohesive group. The same thing, I feel like if they take Alejandro out of the equation, the group is not going to be as cohesive. So that's why personally I think that from this group, the ones that should debut are Alejandro, Kawe, because they need that person that can hit those notes, and Kenneth, because one, he's already very vocally trained, he is able to keep up with like the dancers, with the older boys, and also as he gets older, he's going to improve, but they also, you know, every group needs a maknae. So I feel like he's the designated maknae of the group. But anyways, after this episode finished, we had two people that were eliminated, which were Jesuale and Luigi, like both out of this group. I don't know, like, I know why. It wasn't necessarily because the performance was bad. It was because them as individuals are either not growing as fast as they should, or have stopped growing because they've like met this wall there, they're like, they can't get over that hump, that hurdle. But anyways, I know I haven't made any other videos regarding this group, this whole elimination, so it might seem a little odd that I'm making one now, but like I mentioned, I've been watching the show since it started airing. I'm like so pumped for them to be, for Latin America to create like a Latin boy group.